I know what happened. He knows what happened. So don't sit around. What you won't do on top of everything else is you won't lie on me. Clifford Harris put a gun in my head. Truth is, I didn't have a weapon. Truth is, I didn't call the police on him. Truth is, I didn't sue him and I could have. Truth is, I never spoke about this on the many times I could have spoke about it. And I don't understand how you got these big old balls of steel because you know me. You know me.
All right, so if you guys aren't familiar with the case, Sabrina Peters is claiming that T.I. put a gun to her head after she claimed she was only trying to protect his wife because this assistant of T.I. was supposedly treating his wife, Tiny, as a slave, which I kind of find uncanny. How can an assistant treat their boss's wife as a slave? It's kind of hard to like fathom, but yeah, Miss Sabrina, I just got a simple question. If T.I. supposedly pulled out this gun, why did he pull out this gun? For someone like T.I. in his position to go such drastic measures to jeopardize his career over a piece of pussy? No disrespect.
Okay, so basically, let's give some context. Sabrina Peterson, she is a family friend of the Harrises,
Yeah.
And apparently their kids play together, but it's not only that, they've had sexual relations with her as a couple.
For the past 20 years?
For a very long time. So I think that's when she's saying, like, you know, more than you know me. He knows her.
That implies they know each other very well.
Exactly. So allegedly, like he said, this happened after an altercation with his assistant. I guess she was claiming that she was defending his wife. I just don't see a man pulling out a gun to attack the woman that's defending his wife. Doesn't really make sense why the gun would be pointed at her. So we're not really sure, I guess, how that ended. But apparently she's now come out accusing him of this.
I mean, you know me.
Taking phone calls from other women who have a bunch of other stories about him, allegedly. So that's what we're taking a look at.
Make it make sense.
But my truth is my truth.
What she's implying about the truth is she took a polygraph where she paid for herself and was able to prove that T.I. did pull this gun out. At least she passed the test for it.
It's null and void. She laid out the questions to be asked the questions by. That's not how a polygraph works. That's Definitely. Just not counterproductive. Doesn't make any sense.
Let's check out this T.I. video.
Hey, so as y'all could probably guess or imagine, it's been extremely difficult for me to remain quiet.
I should get my notebook out because this dude about to just teach me some new words out the dictionary.
Always new words.
Mr. Thesaurus.
A whole vocab.
Expeditiously.
In light of all the things that have transpired and all of, but it's a reason for that. And I don't mind sharing it. You see, if a person does not have any right to criminally or civilly have you in court, they have no right. The best thing they could do is get you for a defamation.
Okay, so what he's referring to is basically there's two cases against T.I. and Tiny right now. You have the Sabrina Peterson case, which is a defamation of character against T.I., Tiny, and then their longtime friend and hairstylist, Shakina. I'm sure if you watch all the crap TV that I watch, you know who I'm talking about. The second accusations are coming from, the representation is a New York attorney, and he's representing 11 women that he claims are not affiliated with Sabrina Peterson. So in addition to all the women that Sabrina Peterson has been trying to connect with in terms of, getting them to expose other stories involving T.I. and Tiny, there are also an additional 11 women represented by someone else altogether.
Now, I mean, at this point, man, it's at the point where that don't even matter to me no more, okay? But that's the motive, that's the strategy, that's the intention. Say a whole bunch of false stuff about you that get people to believe and make them come out and say.
I just have to say, it's just unfortunate to see T.I. in a position like this, man, But, he kind of low-key was, like, asking for it. He was poking the bear throughout, like, all the quarantine. He's just been opening his mouth about the wrong things at the wrong time. Once again, I like to refer to, like, their smear campaign a lot of the time. I don't want to assume that this is the case. It's just a lot coming from left to right, and then you have this woman who's been in your life for the past 20 years who her children refer to you as aunt. For this to blow up the way it did, like, just hearing from T.I., this could look like a money grab. Damn, it took you 20 years for you to reveal all this to the world.
But then on the flip side, when there's 30 plus women and then 11 additional women whose cases are actually being pursued by this attorney, then you kind of have to wonder, okay.
It makes me wonder, like, wow, like every time some information like this comes out on a man in that position, now there's 30 or more allegations that follow up with that. Like, are you now trying to tell me that every man in that position moves in that manner? That's how they conduct themselves behind the cameras? Is that what you guys are trying to tell us? Every time a story like that pops up? Like, that's what I'm saying. That's all. How am I supposed to receive that each time information like this pops up, a male celebrity, 30 allegations come with that? Like, how am I supposed to receive that?
I feel like, especially, I mean, we were talking about work environment and what's appropriate and what's not. I think with the music industry, the entertainment industry overall, there's not really a blueprint on how to interact with your employees or your peers and things like that. I think it's a much more fluid environment. So I think that's why with these cases, you could bring up a Cosby, you could bring up, you know, whoever else, Weinstein.
20 years.
Well,
20
even
years.
if you take out 20 years, there's things that are coming up from 5 years ago, 4 years ago. Either way, with that relationship, they've opened up their doors to so many. A lot of these allegations are including his wife. So as a couple, they're taking part in consensual, intimate relationships with other women that they're bringing into their private relationship. But I feel like this is where that gets tricky.
So you're telling me there's more than one R. Kelly and there's female
There's a
R.
lot more
Kellys
R.
too?
Kellys. I mean, think about Ghislaine Maxwell with Epstein.
Epstein, yeah.
You know, it's not, even when you look at so many kidnapping stories and the survivors will be like, oh, I trusted
This
him because
woman.
he was with his wife, or I trusted this woman because she was a woman. And my mom said, it doesn't matter. Look at Jada Pinkett Smith. Abusers come in many forms. A lot of times preaching, you know, these holistic practices or super spiritual, or, you know, I'm not going to say this is alleged with T.I., but he presents himself as one thing, and sometimes those are the type of people that fall the hardest. That's why I referenced to Cosby. Cosby represented black,
Peace.
excellent peace, a good husband, a good man, a good father.
This wholesome lifestyle.
Wholesome. And then here you are dropping Quaaludes in people's drinks.
What ushers in war? Peace.
Oh, I thought you were going to bring up Usher.
Oh, no, I'm just saying.
Not that Usher has shit like that, but just even so, when you look at these people, why they fall is because you're so wholesome. A Chris Brown, why are they're revered?
There's somebody with the receipt waiting for your demise so they can slap you right on the head with it, man.
And a lot of the time, let's be honest, regardless of if it's true or not, y'all put yourself in that situation to begin with.
But did you do it?
They're a liar, they're a liar, they're a liar. And then they can say, see, they call me a liar. That's defamation. Then they drag you in court, get you under oath and all that. Because unfortunately right now, it doesn't matter as much what they can prove you did. It matters what you can prove you didn't.
I do want to say, though, in this case, I don't really think anything's going to happen. We did hear about a possible minor. Now, that there's no real limitation to it in certain states, so we will have to see how that plays out.
Well, the minor one was a weird one. That was also from a few years ago, so I don't know if it falls out of the statute of limitation.
It can also be one of those situations where this minor might have omitted some information.
Well, yeah, so the minor one was in the NBA All-Star Weekend.
Oh, yeah, and that's pretty tough, too. In the NBA All-Star Weekend, like, how'd you even get into that? Like, you must look a certain way for you to have that type of access, because there's no minor at the NBA All-Star game by themselves without consent of their parents.
I will say, though, they probably did have consent of their parents to be there, but apparently it was made clear that they were underage. Again, we don't know how that took place, IDs or whatever the situation was, but they apparently made it clear. So that's why I think they're taking a look into that, because y'all grown. Like, even a few years ago, y'all were grown. 20 years ago, y'all were grown.
Y'all nasty.
But
just
stop
nasty.
bringing people into your bedroom.
Hey.
I'm just saying, y'all too famous for that.
And y'all need these goddamn NDAs. Come on, T. I figured someone of your stature, with your mindset, with your thesaurus of a wordplay, I would figured you would pile up the sense to at least have an NDA cleared. At least. Protect yourself.
Or start sleeping with people that have more to lose than you, or just as much.
Just either you're in a position you have to sign an NDA. It's just facts. Who you sleep with, you have to sign an NDA, Mr. Celebrity Man, if you don't want your business to be aired.
If you are sleeping with someone that has just as much to lose as you would not be in this position. If someone can one up to get something from you by having an intimate relationship with you and then exposing you, that's already uneven. I don't know why you're interacting with those people.
And this is just in regards to celebrities.
And just powerful people in general. You're a come up for a shitty person. You can't be mad at that. That's the way life is. Protect yourself.
Play the game right, player.
You know what I mean? And that's just an unfortunate place that our society had made it to. But I want to be clear about one thing.
Isn't it interesting that he said that he was getting his daughter checked to make sure her hymen was intact, but yet he has like this much, like, take
But
the allegations to this. No, but even put the allegations to the side, they've admitted that they have like this type of sexual intimate relationship with other women that they bring into the bedroom. So it's just interesting that you would be that fluid with that, but you're really concerned as to if your 18-year-old or 19-year-old daughter is a virgin. A little bit of backwards thinking that I found funny, but
Who have been victimized deserve to be heard. Women, black women in particular, should be supported, protected, defended, and uplifted. However, evil has no gender. People with evil intentions have no gender. A threat comes in all shapes and sizes. I would never treat a woman the same way I would treat a threat. All right? So I think that has to be distinguished.
So I think right there also he's insinuating that Sabrina in that case was a threat. I mean, again, this is just implied. This is my interpretation of it, but I feel like he's saying that because a threat has no gender, realize that if a man would have come forward and been like, hey, I was beating up his assistant and he put a gun to my head, I don't think we would be in this amount of uproar. No. So I think because it's a woman, it's that automatic assumption, which we do with domestic violence, let's not play, assuming that the woman is the victim in the situation when she could have been the perpetrator and someone else was stepping in. Yeah. So that is something to take note on.
Yeah, and if it was really that deep, she would have went to the police.
And she even said, I didn't call the cops. I would have called, if I didn't feel like someone was justified, friend, foe, family member. If you put a gun to my head and that shit was not justified.
As Sabrina, yeah, you have to call the cops. You really could have made your money then.
Call the cops.
But now you're just... You're just falling into this Me Too campaign, and it's just people like me who I need to see hard, cold facts, and other than that, I don't want to hear the story.
My wife is a beautiful person with an amazing spirit and a kind heart. She's a devoted mother.
And a devoted side coochie queen. God damn. Out here just throwing that coochie for daddy and friends. Hey, that's a slider. That is a queen slider.
And she has a humble soul. She don't deserve it. She don't deserve it.
She don't deserve it, cause why? Cause she been riding through this whole thing. She been riding with him since the gun. She been riding with him since the pills in the car. She been riding with him since the little mix of threesomes in the house. So she gonna continue to ride, cause she made it this far. Why stop now? Why stop now? See, it's a moment like this where you need to act expeditiously and get on top of your shit, T.I. Expeditiously.
Now, what we not gonna do is open up the door to my bedroom, as you shouldn't have to either. Open up the door to my bedroom for everybody to come in and chime in and make their opinions about what we do and don't do or should or shouldn't do, but I will.
Yes, Sabrina, and anyone like you. You were in there for 20 years throwing that ass backwards, up and down, to the window, to the wall, to all them in my balls.
This is just about Sabrina.
Sabrina.
The other women, we do not have enough details.
20 years. And you want to come out today during the Me Too movement. For what? What is the resolution out of this?
Well, I wonder what was the catalyst, honestly. I wonder why this has come out right now.
Why?
What instigated the reveal?
I also want to know, since this, how much subscribers you gained on YouTube. Because...
Well, that's what I will say. My only issue, and hopefully we can find some clips of the videos that we saw, but my only issue is like homegirl calling up other people to tell their story on the phone, I guess while she's on live or while there's someone or something.
Like she was Oprah or something.
I didn't like that.
Tell me your story, girl. The world's listening.
If those stories were true, it kind of invalidates them because they're not associated with someone else who could, in fact, her intentions could be malicious, whereas the people on the phone might really be trying to tell their stories. So it just, either way, it just just kind of messy because, you know, what I would tell those victims is if you are truly a victim and you feel like this man harmed you, speak out for yourself. Don't attach yourself to somebody else who clearly, regardless of what has happened, has some bitterness with this family and definitely some history. So defend yourself separately. Don't get looped up into that. But I thought that was messy. I thought it was really on some, you know, like trying to expose, like just the questions seem very like R. Kelly-esque, which I can't confirm or deny.
I just see someone looking for a quick come up expeditiously.
You really liking that word.
We need to end this Me Too movement.
No, okay.
End this smear campaign expeditiously.
We're not going to end the Me Too movement.
Unless you got cold hard facts. It's unfortunate that it happened years ago. But guys, we need to act accordingly. Call it out when it happens. Because now you let these years go by, these people continue to generate more funds and generate the people's love. And with that, your chances of finding justice grow slimmer and slimmer. My approach can be hard, yes, but cold hard facts will shut all of us up, can get the ball rolling. Shna mean?
Whatever we ever have done has been done with consensual adults who into what we into and like what we like.
You hear that? You heard it from the horse's mouth. Everything was consent, but he ain't say nothing about no NDAs. But I take that there as to be NDAs were cleared.
I don't think that has anything to do with NDAs. I take that as just he knew he was sleeping with adults.
What she said.
I don't think it was, you know, any paperwork. But again, it's just, where are you vetting these people? And this is why I get wary about letting people into your relationship, because
and celebrities, I thought you guys had access to high fashion, superficial, or like these top quality women. They just dropped to do anything for you guys. Where are these women at?
These are these women.
These are these women? No disrespect to Miss Sabrina, but she didn't give me no Vixen vibes. I didn't get no Vixen vibes.
Well, I think that just happened to be like a family friend.
I just think it's more so a conveniency. And that's weird. A lot of these celebrities just be hooking up with anything. Like the cases I was hearing with Usher, with the big girl, and then dudes, and then all these other women that could pass for his mother, and then people like him, you know, with these daddy and mommy issues or whatever. But guys, like, if that's what you guys are dealing with, like, I think I'm good where I'm at, you know, like what I'm dealing with, and you know, the average type of women I'm dealing with, I think I'm pretty good where I'm at, player.
I honestly hope this isn't true. They have a very large family. Tiny just became a grandmother. He became a step-grandfather.
Since then, since the allegations, the show's been canceled, suspended till further notice. Like, this is a real thing, guys.
Marvel dropped him. I guess he was supposed to be in the second Ant-Man. Or I guess it was never really confirmed. But
yeah, but still,
he's not going to be in that.
That's definitely sealed the deal. Unless he's Woody Allen.
Other conversation. We'll get to that on another day.
Went over your head there, huh?
I don't want to take away from these women's story. There's a lot of women. Keep in mind, like we said, it's 30 plus women on one side associated with Sabrina, or Sabrina has had some sort of conversation with them. And then there's 11 women on the other side who have never met her apparently and do have legal representation out of New York. So
NDAs, clear them.
Stop fucking with random people. Or your friends.